Different people approach the challenge of entrepreneurialism in different ways, and some people are very single-minded and, it's my way or the highway, and that sometimes works. But my own lived experience is that the best entrepreneurs I've ever worked with or seen in operation are the ones that have a beautiful idea and have a creative imagination and the capacity and the confidence to think they can solve a challenge to move on from business as usual.
Lucy Hughes Turnbull, the EY Entrepreneur of the Year Australia Chair of Judges, thrives as an urbanist, businesswoman and philanthropist who really does live and breathe her life's work. Awarded the Order of Australia, Lucy is an inspiring woman passionate about reshaping the future through her long-standing interests in cities, culture, technological and social innovation and Australian research. She is someone who seems endlessly motivated to do and be more. What drives this motivation and passion each day? And is there a secret to how to start the day?
So my morning ritual is getting out of bed and doing exercise. That's my source of physical well-being, but obviously also my mindfulness, which makes it possible for me to think about the day ahead and other ideas too, and other things to think about. But I do different things every day. I like to chop and change it. I don't like doing the same thing every day. So if I start my day right, I get out of bed and do an hour of exercise and then I'm ready for anything.
We often wonder who the people behind the entrepreneur are. While they are highly focused leaders, they also surround themselves with great people.
Well, what I always try to do is to seek out and work with people who are positive energy people, that are lean forward people, not sit back and wait for things to happen people. So that naturally leads me to a lot of entrepreneurial type people. And entrepreneurs can work in startup enterprises and grow them successfully and become really, really super successful. But there are a lot of entrepreneurial type people working in small businesses, in Australian businesses and around the world every single day. They may not ever become, entrepreneurs of the year, but they have that positive, constructive mindset and they're natural, practical problem solvers. But I think that even those people, when they get to a certain point, need a support team, need a collaboration team to actually get to where they need to go. Because the really smart entrepreneurs have that sense of purpose, but also the wisdom to understand they can't do everything. And they're the kind of people I love working with. I love working with people that have a sense of purpose and a passion and a sense of drive to get to deliver the dreams that they have and the objectives that we have when we work in teams.
Entrepreneurs are unique in the way they see the world and the way they approach business. It begs the question, what is at the heart of the entrepreneur?
I think the heart of the entrepreneur is a creative imagination and a sense of purpose to change the way things happen, to change the way things are happening and to make the world a better place. They have to imagine how to do things better than business as usual. So it's that imagination and creativity and practical attitude that actually gets them to creating great ideas and implementing them. They need to have a huge sense of confidence and a great sense of purpose. And if you look at the entrepreneurs on our judging panel, like Ronnie and Jack and Glenn, they've all built amazing businesses across really different sectors, but it's that distilled sense of common purpose and a sense of opportunity that actually has driven their success.
Tasked with judging the 2021 EY Entrepreneur of the Year, people like Lucy draw on their own personal experiences and the many lessons learned along the way.
Well, in my experience of meeting and getting to know quite a few entrepreneurs, there are the steam train people who have the beautiful creative imagination with a single idea and a focus to get to achieving that idea, commercialising that idea, getting it to market. And that's wonderful. But I think that there are other entrepreneurs who do exactly the same and then evolve their business to build a really strong team. And it's those entrepreneurs with that combination of skills of single focus, creative imagination and people skills who actually go on really to have a sustained, successful enterprise.
Entrepreneurs are viewed as being more than successful in business. They are people who challenge, reshape and transform business.
I think for entrepreneurs, they need that magic, the X factor, which makes them think about problems and solving problems, but then taking the next step, which a lot of people don't take. Okay, how am I going to solve it? What can I do? I know, I've got an idea. And then the next step is, I'll do something about it, I'm going to make it happen. And then there's that indomitable will and sense of purpose that takes them to getting where they want to be. So it's that determination, imagination, creativity. It's a very special mix.
Lucy's passion for architecture, culture and cities sees her in the perfect role as the chair of the Sydney Opera House Trust.
As chair of the Opera House, I love being, responsible in a governance sense for one of the most exceptional buildings in the world, where some of the most exceptional things in the performance space happen. The Opera House is, architectural entrepreneurialism. Can you imagine Jon Utzon sitting in Denmark, putting in that submission for the Opera House in a design competition in Sydney, Australia, which in those days must have seemed like the very end of the world when air travel was so much harder, putting that submission in. And then I think the government acted in an entrepreneurial way in actually saying, okay, we're going to take a big risk for this. Brackets, it may not be easy, but let's go with it. Let's not just do business as usual stages and auditoriums. Let's do something really super special. So that's entrepreneurial architecture, it's entrepreneurial government. So it's exceptional on both fronts to have those features, but it's also a place where exceptional things happen every day.
As a woman inspired to help reshape a better future in the cities we design and build, Lucy's purpose is driven by her work in technological and social innovation and Australian research.
When I became the Lord Mayor, which I did for a year, suddenly the size of the city of Sydney doubled. And it wasn't a surprise, but it was predicted it was going to happen. We knew when it was going to happen. And from being just basically the downtown and some small bits of the inner city in Pyrmont, suddenly the area of the city, doubled and plus in size. And so we had to actually, grow our organisation and bring elements of other organisations in to find that common purpose and focus to create a great city of Sydney for much more people. So you intensify your level of service, you work with the management team. That would never have happened without a really strong management team on making sure everybody benefited from what had happened, from the city suddenly expanding.
I want to thank Lucy for sharing her insights and knowledge on what has been and continues to be an incredible journey through business and life in Australia. A fascinating insight at what lies at the heart of the entrepreneur.